Our fun at the beach continues with a visit to Fort Stevens, just outside Astoria, Oregon. I've been coming here since I was just a small boy. It was fun to take the grandkids here. I think this was their first time here. Battery Pratt was built after the Spanish-American War and was in service till 1943. It had two 6-inch disappearing guns, and they have a replica disappearing gun up here in a carriage. From my understanding, a volunteer actually spent the time and the effort to rebuild this replica in his garage and then donate it to the park here for people to see. It's a big 6-inch gun that could fire a shell and cover the entire mouth of the Columbia River to keep the Columbia River safe from enemy attack. Battery Pratt's primary goal was submarine mines and keep enemy ships off the Columbia River. All down below is where they would store the munitions, and you can see the tracks up on the ceiling that they would hook the munitions to and then run them through that so that people weren't carrying them all the way, because those are heavy. The interesting part is I can remember back as a kid coming through here, there were no lights, there was no electricity. We even brought headlamps and flashlights for the grandkids and had a couple of family radios so they could talk back and forth, and they were having a blast with them. But we were really hoping to do some exploring, but they've closed off a lot of sections and they've added electricity to others. This is one of the doors going into Battery Mishler. This is originally an open battery, but they closed it up at the beginning of World War II and actually turned it into a command post. And this is Battery 245. I've been here when it's unlocked. It's a really cool, interesting maze of tunnels and small rooms. When we were there, the last time I was here, it was being used for a Civil War reenactment, and the Confederates had used Battery 245 to set up their camp in. Battery 245 was one of the last batteries installed here at Fort Stevens, and it used new radar-guided guns that were a lot more accurate than the old stuff. Being in the military myself, it would be kind of interesting to see this thing when it was still in operation, how it was all used, and really interesting to me. Battery Lewis and Battery Walker, I have spent a lot of time exploring all the tunnels and halls and rooms in that, and it was a lot of fun, and we were really hoping to take the grandkids in there with their headlamps and flashlights and explore, but unfortunately, due to safety reasons, they've got it all closed off now. And then up here on the top of the hill, you see that square outline. It's an old observation platform. Another thing that I've been to as a kid many times, and now it's closed for safety reasons. You got to think a lot of this fort's 125 years old. Then it's definitely showing its age because it's not been maintained. Then we had to head over to the Civil War reenactors. Heard the rumor they were going to be doing a cannon display, and the rumors were true. It's very interesting and fun for me to see how some of these old weapons were used and how the old military were equipped.
Gunners, post! 2 rounds, Canister. Load. Hit on. Hold. We need to dump that.
Something in there. Oh, ball.
Oops. Vent.
Ball.
You got it. There's only one.
Only one. Okay.
Vent.
Right. Try that again.
On.
There you go.
That's what the worm is for.
Vent.
Vent on.
Vent.
Vent on. Good one, ready.
Clear the hubs.
Clear the hubs.
Fire.
Fire.
Vent.
And on.
There's nothing. It's just aluminum foil with black powder. So all you see is the powder.
Vent.
And on.
Vent.
And on.
Vent.
And on.
Ready?
Gun one ready.
Clear the hubs.
Clear the hubs.
Fire.
Fire.
Cease fire. Service the weapon.
And we went to explore the original fort, the old earthenworks fort that was built near the beginning of the Civil War. Had a bird flying around us really, really close and was trying to get it on video. Didn't have too much success with that though. So this is kind of the original Fort Stevens, built in 1863. It was the only style fort like this on the West Coast. And again, it was built to protect the mouth of the Columbia River. In its heyday, it had 26 guns inside the fort. 17 of those were Rodman cannons, which back in the day were considered the most powerful weapons of their day. I know in the past this has also been used as a fort for Civil War reenactors as well. Back in the day, there would have been wooden structures in here for command places and barracks and mess halls and all of that. It's kind of amazing that it was still the 1800s when they started building concrete buildings in here. This is where they stored and kept all of the submarine mines that they deployed at the mouth of the Columbia during World War II. There was a whole division just for deploying, maintaining, and bringing the mines back in safely. There's some big mines too. Interesting part too is Fort Stevens was one of the few places on American soil that were attacked during World War II by the Japanese. A Japanese sub surfaced not too far from Fort Stevens, started firing in the area of the fort. And the fort commander said, "Don't fire back," and after a few shots from the submarine, it went back underwater and left. And that was the last they'd heard of it. And one of the reasons they think was they didn't want to give away the location of the fort. But anyway, thanks for watching.